Hi, Libra. Leo season. Different kind of stage. Different kind of place. Embrace your rawness. That's all. That's really what it is this month, so. Oh man, don't you think that your life is just like really this act of the comedy and comedy tragedy just always happening? Like the only way you can handle it is by going with whichever is playing out. Literally to this morning. I'll tell you a story, Libra. As a Libra to another Libra, many, hopefully. I was getting ready to do a different part of the Sagittarius reading, actually. So some of you might want to go check that one out. And I stubbed my toe on a piece of furniture. Guess what happened? Like my entire nail came off. So I had to perform surgery on myself, and it hurt really bad. And then afterwards, like, I was mad about it. I was a little frustrated, but there was a point where I was just like laughing, like, my life is hilarious. Your life is hilarious. Oh, and the cards think so too. All right, I don't know about you guys, but laughing has been so helpful lately, just with everything. And it's because I'll say you, because I'll say we sometimes, but you're in this place right now where it is in your mind, in your head, in your life, in the way you see things, it is rather dramatic the way things are shifting through your heart. There's this whole rebirth that's been going on, and we've been talking about it for a while, and this rebirth is like the reason why it takes a while for certain signs to go through a rebirth, especially Libras, us, is because there's so many layers to us. There's so many layers to the scale. There's so many layers to that which holds the scale, and there's so many things to weigh out. So even our rebirth is like that. I know, right? It's kind of like, all right, Libra, like, when are you going to stop glowing up? So it's almost like it could feel like scorpionic. Sorry, I've never done this part with my hair, so I'm just kind of like messing with it. So for most of us, it started externally, and then it's this play externally and internally. Leo season happens to be a combination, but mostly it's how you engage with your external world this month. How you set the stage for yourself this month. How transparent you can be this month. It's, of course, with yourself first, as always, and the moon and the Scorpio coming out, are the death cards. So if there's a Scorpio or a Pisces or a Cancer in your life, some of you could have some heartbreak with them. And what's coming from this is, I do, for the most part, don't think that this is a relationship for most of you. I do think this is mostly about yourself and about this place you find yourself in this month of being extremely careful, because you now see how the rebirth is structuring. Like, you're seeing it in a deeper way, that to the depth almost. For some of you this month is like the Leo season is shining the light on these shadow areas, these insecurities, these parts of you that really need to be seen to fulfill this whole rebirth. And for a lot of us, it's through the way you've loved and learned to love, and how you show love, how you express love, how you receive love. So it's all encompassing the heart, because Leo is ruled by the heart. So literally the Three of Swords coming out as the first one. This has been a lot, and you're finally coming through to the other side. So the moons have been really, really prominent for you. And the card that fell is the High Priestess. So this is about you sitting with all of that. And these are very internal cards, but they're also very external in the sense that they demand your attention. So the rebirth card is like going through that death and rebirth process demands your attention because of how extreme it is, how bright it can be. So your challenge almost this month so far going into the season is being able to play and see where the rebirth is taking you now, because with all of us it's very different, but it's moving through these parts of us that we don't see all the time, but we have this chance to sit with it now and be a little more quiet. So the first part of the month of coming into to Leo season, it's very much this transformative time, and also needing you to take note and recognize of what these moon cycles have been showing you, what these changes have been showing you and preparing you for, and how you deal with them. The King of Wands. So you're being asked to start to see your life in this configuration of this ever-changing motion of the flow of the moon in this rebirth process. Because as Libra relates to the justice system, there is a lot of change that needs to happen. And why that's shifting in layers with you is because it's never just one thing. It's the complexities, having complexities as a Libra, and I know other signs do too, but we have them in a very prominent way because the sun, if you're a sun in Libra, moon, or rising, it's projected so closely. So it's like the main signs, it's what you see in another person. So the reason why it's so important for you to take this time this month to not react and to use the fire to gain momentum on whatever is calling you, whatever is guiding you. The moon is the guide in the night as well. So whatever is calling you at this moment is going to become very clear, and that can cause you to feel very protective, very powerful within yourself in a way that only, Leo season can bring for you. It's just being careful of how you're using it, of course, because Leo season it brings all of our egos to the forefront because it's the sun. So it's really important for you to understand that when you are wanting to speak on something, or if you want to voice something, or if you, honestly, even celebrating yourself at this moment in time of just like you needing to see the rebirth that has already happened, because it's very clear to you that you won't even realize sometimes that you've arrived. And here you are waiting for your name to be called or for something to happen, but the reality is that you've arrived, and it's time to take that into acknowledgement with yourself, because the beginning of the month is contemplative because it's coming out of Cancer season. It wants you to see all the things like that Cancer season touched upon, and what's actually important to bring into the light, what's actually important to see, what's actually important to celebrate. And the world wants you to move out into it. It wants to celebrate with you. It wants you to close those chapters and do those different things and be in control of what you can be. So the beautiful thing about Leo is that they take initiative. You are being asked this month to take initiative of where do you want this rebirth to go at this point? At this point, you've gained enough insight about where it's been going, how it's been moving through you, but where you want to allow yourself to be seen. So the moon makes sense for you in Leo season when it is raw and it is real. So here you are standing under the light and being asked to receive so much universal wisdom, so much contemplation. So the advice here is in the first part of the month to let yourself be quiet, do your thing. I'm personally creating these videos, been writing a lot, been really in myself, very external as well, but because of other things I have to do in my life, but very much in a creative zone of what you focus on day to day. What do you so that this is very Virgo, and there's Venus in Virgo, Mars is in Virgo, Mercury will enter Virgo towards Virgo season, because Mercury is entering Leo when this is coming out. So preparing yourself for Virgo season, because then your season is coming. Holy shit, it's almost here. Shit, it's already almost been a year. So in preparing yourself, this month wants you to see what you're going to continue to see. How do you choose to handle these situations? How do you want to engage with this part of your life? Where do you want to take this? You're going to be seen regardless from here on out. So however you decide to make yourself known, however you decide to open up into the world, as raw as you can be, as real as you can be, and celebrating all of your accomplishments. And you might find that there's some surprises with people celebrating you this month even, and it is nothing short of beautiful. There's a huge opening this month. So if you've been worried about money, this is the first Pentacle card. So if you've been worried about money, as in relationships, only one Cup card, things are going to shift. It's a flow, but there's some of you are finally at this rock bottom period, finally at this place of like, only way I can go is up. What do I need to see? The moon is guiding you, and it'll make more sense when we look at the cards, but there's this overwhelming sense of your security is what you have here right now. What are you making out of the present moment in your life? How does that keep you going? Because at this point, it's like, if you have something that you're excited about, and if you have something that you're ready to put out there and show people and show some people, or something you want to take initiative on in your own, if you're working a job that you love and you're in your career, you're being asked to take on greater responsibility, which brings greater reward, which brings greater risk. And you've been doing this in small ways for a while, and now it's more at that spot where you can by the end of this month, you're going to take a look right as Virgo season starts to begin, where because Virgo and Venus and seeing everything in a very more of a linear matter, you're going to be able to see and be grateful and notice that these experiences that you're feeling on a micro level is the experience of what's happening on a macro level. And you're just feeling, so here's the layers. You might be feeling what you're going through personally, which is a lot of people do this, but with you, there's so many layers to it, because everything you are at that micro level is exemplified through the macro level. And you take into account all these different things and meet yourself back to where it makes sense for you. And finally, because last season there's definitely direction in it. There's a lot of direction for us in terms of our emotions and everything like that, and how to handle things and to be more quiet. This month is quiet in the first half, and the second half is going to be a lot more expressive. So by the end of August, be prepared to receive more than you expect. Always better than you expect. That's something that I'll give you a tip of, like, how I do when I write down and do things and manifest different things, because the most powerful way to manifest is through writing. And then, you know, when you get those hits, or if you're in conversation, depending on how you receive things, I receive a lot from other people. So different connections that I have personally in my life, or, you know, regardless of where the connection is, that's how I receive a lot of things, whether it's things that I need, or it's random stuff. And so I advise you this month, especially after the moon. So the full moon was big, but then the new moon in Leo is also going to be big. It's where the shift is finally coming to an end. The rebirth is finally like, okay, I think we've gotten every layer. Virgo season will definitely sift us out, but I think we've gotten through. And being in that high priestess mode, you'll just like have this sense of download and relief, because you've had to receive so much information, like what's next, how do I deal with this, how do I handle that, this has come up, okay, gotta do this, gotta take care of that, okay, boom boom boom, everything's done, okay, gotta create. There's just so much, and Leo season wants you to take it and use it. Use it for yourself. Second half of the month, it's all out there, it's all coming back to you. So much that you're going to look at and be grateful for, so much that you have to not hold on to, but play with. Come Virgo season, so much to utilize come Virgo season. Leo season is about bringing it, putting it out there, making it into something. So being able to do that is important. King of Wands could also be this person in your life who may be jealous of you. They just may not, there's just something about not being able to see you in your zone. Like they're in a certain place within their life, this King of Wands, whoever this is for you, they're in a place of life where it's not easy for them to celebrate you. So letting them just be and looking the other way is the best thing you can do for them, because you can't fight and want someone to want to be happy for you or want to celebrate you. You can't force anyone into that, or, you can't. And as much as you used to be that way and are learning to continuously let go of control in different areas, and that's Leo season. Leo season, Virgo season will be very clear where you are not in control and where you actually are in control, especially now being in this time. It might be overexposed, but again, if the daytime becomes too much, it's following the light of the moon. So maybe it's nighttime that brings, or those darker times during the day, day's end to day's rise, that you maybe take on a practice. I want to really show you the cards to explain this further, because I can keep going even though there's not a lot of cards out. I just want to talk to you today. Love you so much, Libras. Happy Leo season. And I should have said this in the beginning, but the second part to this reading is when we look at the cards and go through them. And then I do an extended reading on Patreon where we go through the whole entire deck and clarify more into Leo and Virgo season, because we have Virgo at the end here too. And it's usually so detailed. And then there's information below to work with me one-on-one as well. And for donations if you want to donate to the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month, Libra. Okay, Libra. So, it's not funny, but it is funny, and I'll get to why it's funny. That's a story. Leo season, just for any of you out there, just ripped the Band-Aid off if you were holding on to it. It started to get ripped off a while ago, but now it's just like full-blown ripped off. Yesterday, the funny way of putting it, my ottoman attacked me and my whole toenail came off clean, and I had to do surgery on the bottom. So it's this whole raw nerve shit right now. That's what I might call this reading, is it's a raw nerve that struck you from whatever was ripped from you or in something unexpected. It's not something that can't be mended, of course. It's just something that you either were subconsciously hanging on to or you were consciously hanging on to. And it started to develop, but you've been going through this rebirth, and there are those layers, and this is that final depth of a layer. You would think that Venus is in Scorpio right now for you. Though it's this whole play with the moon, everything that's hitting you, the way it's hitting you, is causing you to want to go inside. Is causing maybe even some of you to feel more alive in the night, or feel this really intense pull towards you, because there's this, we are highly intuitive. You are highly intuitive, but there's this new feeling that you're feeling again, that maybe this rawness in the way that you're feeling it now as opposed to the way that you felt it before. It has a different energy to it. It's celebratory. It's strength. And sometimes this can be looking away from something. No matter what you're feeling throughout the month and what you're going through, Leo season is always a good time to celebrate how far you've come. Maybe for some of you that means being more secluded or in solitude, celebrating or traveling somewhere, because here the world opens up. These two circle, oval, coming and above and below each other. This is you seeing intensely from either all sides of you, where the sun is hitting you, where the moon is hitting you, and it's having you focus so intently on what is being given to you at any present moment. This month already came in strong. Mercury just entered Leo. Jupiter is now in retrograde in Aquarius, or will be by the time this comes out. These placements in Virgo. Virgo season will be the most invigorating season for you as long as you get through this purification of the Leo. Leo is even more intensified right now because I feel that they're seeing something very clearly, which is helping everyone else see it. By the end of the month and going into Virgo season, then Tower on the bottom as in Virgo fashion. And for those of you who have major Virgo placements or even Scorpio placements, some of you might have that as well. I do. By Virgo season, it'll become extremely clear because you'll be in that zone of, oh, okay, I'm content. This isn't you stuck. This is you content. First, you have to look at it, acknowledge it, appreciate it, bear witness to it, even cry and feel it, and then the contentness sets in. So then anything else that is unnecessary or overblown just falls away. And you need to celebrate your blessings, even if there's a person that you really want to celebrate, even if they can't, even if they don't want to or ultimately they're choosing not to. So it's your choice. Because that's also, this could be an ignorance of yourself, not allowing yourself, just because something hurts right now or just because you're in a certain place doesn't mean you can't still appreciate or enjoy the endings and the beginnings that you're having in this moment. So you come into Leo season and then something opens up for you by the middle and towards the end, and gives you moments of reflection and also a contentness where other things shed away afterwards. It's hard for me to explain, but it's this like continuum of seeing something constantly being peeled back and peeled back and peeled back until you hit that raw nerve. So that's what you may feel like this month, and it's really important for you to be very protective of that, especially during the beginning of the month. Take notice. Where are you seeing things that you really need to see through this raw nerve? What is being shown to you, given to you? Yeah. We'll get more into everything into the extended. But really briefly, if there is a Scorpio, Pisces, water sign, water people in your life, they're very helpful for you right now. Lean on them. They're open to it as well. Anyone that is overbearing this month, though, might not be your best, or not overbearing, but anyone who matches your heightened sensitivity this month might be who you want to, or whoever you can be like extremely soft with. So it's like the ruthlessness of the nerve is also that softness that just comes out of you because you need help in a different way, and the way you speak is different because that's just what you are right now and you can't be anything else. Had to leave off with some poetry. Okay. I love you. I'll see you next month. Extended. We'll go through the deck, and to book anything with me is below. Bye, Libra.